Hi guys! I know I didn't tell you guys that I was going on live today because I just decided to do it just now and I'm cheating. See, there's a black background behind me because guess what? I don't have on any makeup. I know, that's like, Pearl, stop talking about that, okay? Just do the doggone video and hush up. I already know. Okay, today is the 17th anniversary. I'm still in California. It's 10:09 p.m. Okay, so today, October 30th, is the 17th anniversary to the release of Michael Jackson's Invincible album. And I just thought today I couldn't miss this opportunity to talk to you guys because the Invincible album, it can be proven through evidence, facts, and clues that this is when Michael Jackson really first was going to fake his death. I've saved some screenshots that I'm going to go over with you guys because invincible, which means I can't die. I won't die. And if you guys have watched Alive 1, 2, and 3, and if you haven't watched it, you really have to watch it in order to understand some of the advanced things that I talk about with Michael Jackson's death hoax. But he was first going to fake his death during the Invincible era. Now, there's several reasons why I know, but you got to watch Alive 3. I think most of them are in Alive 3. At the end of Alive 2, I go through some stuff. So you need to watch at least Alive 2 and Alive 3 to kind of get this, okay? On 9/7 and 9/10, 2001, Michael Jackson and guest and his family recorded the 30th anniversary special, right? Guess what happened on 9/11? Terrible tragedy. And I'm so sorry for all the tragedies that we're having right now in this last couple of years. It's just so sad. My heart goes out to everyone. Everyone. And I watch the news every day and I do this, but vote Democratic. Sorry, that's what I'm going to do. I'm voting Democratic down the line because we have to stop the racism that's going on. We just have to stop the racism, the hate, the permissive rhetoric that the president is shouting out to white supremacists, white nationalists, white races, and it's white and everybody else, and there, of course, there's good white people that are there. Sometimes it feels like the abolitionists versus the slaveholders to me, and it's a sad time in American, and it's not even history. And what's going on in the USA right now. It's kind of like a struggle, I feel. I didn't even mean to talk about this right now, but sometimes I feel like it's a struggle of white power. Like it's a white power struggle. And because they're white, they deserve better than other people. And it's so sad because if you work hard, we're in America. You're supposed to have a quality of life that's just as equal to anyone else's who works hard. We're supposed to have equal opportunities. We are supposed to have equality. We're not supposed to have one race has a better quality of life simply because of the way they look. That's just not fair. Um, what race they are. So my heart goes out to the Jewish people. My heart goes out to the black man and black woman who was just shopping in Kroger's and some white nationalist racist came up and shot him in the back of the head, killed him. Then he went outside and saw a poor black woman just shopping, just going to the store, killed her. Somebody just went into the Jewish temple and just lit it on fire with bullets, and not to mention the bomb threats and the other killings and the school massacres and the other killing at the gay nightclub. Come on. Oh gosh, please, let's just stop it. I didn't even mean to do that, I swear to God, but it's been wearing on me. It's been wearing hard on me. Anyway, let's get back to Invincible, Michael's album Invincible. Okay, on 9/11, the day after they finished the taping for the 30th anniversary, that's when the terrorist attack hit. That's when the two airplanes were used as bombs, and they were flown into New York's Twin Towers. And I remember that day. Oh my God, what a horrible, horrible, horrible day that was. Anyway, um, uh, so Michael, I believe at that time, wanted to fake his death, but he just had too much patriotism and loved the country so much. And you can't upstage the biggest terrorist attack on American soil. You can't upstage that, you know. So he was forced to postpone. So after he postponed this death hoax, then, you know, the 2003 allegations hit. Then he had the 2005 trial, which I was in the courtroom, and that's how I got involved in with Michael Jackson in the first place, is just on a whim. Not that I planned it or I sought it out or anything, just on a whim. And I'm sure Michael was sitting there going, if I'm ever acquitted, when I'm acquitted for something I did not do. I sat in the courtroom, I listened to testimony. I'm telling you guys, there was nothing there. Nothing there. Michael's nasty collection were girly magazines, you know, nothing male, homosexual, nothing children, nothing. They had nothing, you know, but just the words of someone, you know, and their words were not substantiated. And I always tell you fans, I know, gosh, I'm going off on another tangent. I always tell you fans that, you know, words don't mean anything unless there's something to substantiate them as truthful, or there's evidence to say that they are factual. So we got to be careful when we read things on the internet, because things that are said about me are complete lies and fabrications and mistruths and half-truths and misrepresentations. And you know what? Anybody that you can you know, go make up a lie right now and post it on the internet about anybody you want to. Anybody you want to. You can just make up a lie, and you can just lie on them every single day of your life if you want. Okay? It's horrible. We have to control the internet, you know, and I'm thinking that that there has to be a way to control the internet and make people more responsible for what they say. Gosh, that's another secondary tangent I went off on. I'm trying to talk about Michael's Invincible album and him faking his death, but there's so many things that are going on in the world right now that are just very chaotic and very volatile, you know, and we got to do something about it. You know, the deficit, another $1.3 trillion, biggest loan that we've ever taken out, when the Republicans said the tax cuts were going to reduce the deficit. And so far, with the tax cuts in January to now, the Dow has went down 2,000 points since the tax cuts. Okay, I'm just telling you. Okay, so we gotta just, you know, try to fact check things that we can. And there's another tangent I'm going off on. I watch the news all day while I'm promoting and I'm marketing and I'm studying and I'm researching Michael. I have the news on all day. My favorite is MSNBC. That's my favorite. But anyway, and Rachel Maddow is my favorite. Hey, she is. She's my favorite. She does the best job, in my opinion. Okay, so after, so 9/11 happened. So Michael was forced to postpone his death hoax because he couldn't do it. And I bet after he got acquitted, which I knew he was because they had nothing on him, and you guys know I produced the documentary about his innocence called Behind the Scenes of the Michael Jackson Trial. And then his father, Joe, called me and wanted to buy it, blah, blah, blah. 7 weeks before the death announcement. Wink, wink, nod, nod, right? I signed a distribution deal and with Rock City, and the address of my distributor happened to be the same address as the Michael Jackson Company. Because Joe sent someone else to make the deal with me, unbeknown to me, you know, and we renamed it Michael Jackson Trial and Triumph of the King of Pop. That was ripe and ready for to be exhibited when the death announcement came. Okay, so that's another death hoax clue, but you're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff if you watch the Alive Trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries. So getting back to the Invincible album, which is when he first wanted to fake his death. You know, Michael was into zombies, werewolves, ghosts. Even in Moonwalker, he was thought to die and come back to life. And so he's been telling us for many, many years through a lot of his songs, a lot of his music, a lot of his artwork, a lot of his short films, that he was going to fake his death one day, because I think he had a little an obsession with Elvis, which we know he did. And Elvis had a death hoax, so why not Michael have a death hoax? Why not? And Michael deserves it. He's a he's a bigger star than Elvis is, right? And live on and on and on. And for infamy, immortal, that's another death hoax clue, right? The Immortal show. Okay, so anyway, so I'm going to show you guys some stuff with Invincible. I hope I didn't lose a train of thought there. I might have lost a train of thought and didn't answer something I just said I was going to answer. But Invincible, okay? Oh, it looks like a ghost, right? So I'm going to turn my phone around. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. It's going to rotate right now. It's going to rotate. Come on, camera. There we go. Okay, see, this is the Invincible album mixed with the Escape album, right? And it's the same Michael face. Michael, it's the same. It's exactly the same. And I know people can Photoshop and make anything look like anything, but these two are pretty much the same face of Michael, same exact stare, except for the Invincible album. Down here, it looks like a ghost, right? It looks like a ghost. So Michael was looking like Ghost, just like his short film Ghost, and the word Invincible. And then here are some of the songs, Unbreakable, which I think Frank Cassio put in his book that they were going to plan a video for the song Unbreakable, where Michael was going to fall off of a skyscraper building and he was going to break in pieces and then come back together, which was another way of a fake death, but I don't think he got a chance to do that. And then we have the song Invincible, right? And then with the song Invincible, let me just show you guys something that I really like with Invincible. And it's kind of ironic because the song Invincible, I saved it. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to play some of it right now. Let me turn up the volume. And it's just one of those, just for fun, so nobody trip out, just for fun. But listen to what it says. Isn't that funny? My name is in this song for Invincible. It says he's going to buy you diamonds and pearls. He can't do it like me, right? And so I find that kind of like a little like premonition, Invincible, fake death, and then my name is one of the songs, just for fun. Okay, so, but yes, it looks like a ghost. So Michael was planning on faking his death. So let's go back to some of the other song titles, right? We have Heaven Can Wait, which means that I'm not going to heaven, and heaven is a place where good dead people go, right? So he's saying Heaven Can Wait because he's not dying yet. And then we have Butterflies, which is for a new beginning, and that's why he liked Mariah Carey. And Mariah Carey, I think in Oz the Great and Powerful, did she have the theme song? And but Mariah Carey loves butterflies. She's a butterfly queen. And she sung the song Home. I think it was in Oz the Great and Powerful. Excuse me if I'm wrong. But maybe that's why they chose her, because of the butterflies. And then we also have the song Privacy, and then Don't Walk Away, like don't leave him even though he's gone. And then we have Whatever Happens, Don't Let Go of His Hand. And then we have the song Threaten that has the lyrics in it, He's the Living Dead, right? So we have all kinds of clues that tell us that Michael Jackson was going to fake his death during the Invincible album, and this album was going to come out. Now, this is something that was in New York. See that? I think Janet had a multiple color album too out. But see, this is Invincible, came out October 30th, 2001. And see the different colors of it and everything, and Ghost. Now, this person, I found him very, very interesting. This person, it's called MJ's Invincible WordPress. And then I found, this little comment here. And the comment here says, post, June 2009, Invincible was the one album I could not find in shops. So I think if that's true, Michael didn't want to give off too many early clues that he faked his death. So all his other albums were on the shelves except for Invincible, because Invincible, pretty much he thought, since he understood, the meaning of it so much, that maybe that would give off too many clues that he had faked his death. So everything else was on the shelves. All his other albums were on the shelves except for Invincible, according to this website. Okay. Now I can't go back and look on the shelves and see what was there. I don't, of course I don't. All I know is that this is what this one person is saying, that they could not find it. Now, let's see. I think I went through a lot of the stuff for the Invincible album, and I just wanted to say happy 17th anniversary to the Invincible album. And if you have more things that you want to talk about with the Invincible album, please leave comments below. And of course, don't forget to get your Alive Trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries. Let's go ahead and let's pull up that cover. Because the Alive Trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries tell you so much information. And I know sometimes I'm just, there's Frank Cassio's book, so that's where he tells about the falling off the building and having a fake death as one of his video ideas that he had that he never had a chance to make. Because once Michael knew that he was forced to postpone his original death hoax. Here we go. Here's the Alive Trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries. Please pick up a copy if you don't have it yet, or you can watch it online on Vimeo.com, and I'll, go ahead and do that. I may have some news for you guys next month regarding Prisoner of Fame. The Prisoner of Fame movie, I hope next month, hopefully. I'm trying to work something out right now, and we'll see if something comes of it. And just order your copy of the Alive Trilogy, because everybody who knows me, who's been following me for many years, knows that I reinvest in Michael product. What am I at? 5 Michael documentaries and a Michael Jackson book. I mean, gosh, plus, all the YouTube videos. I think I have 375 videos on my YouTube channel, and 5.3 million views, which I'm very happy about. And let's see, Michael was supposed to have a meeting in the Twin Towers. Yeah, I know that that's what they say, that he was supposed to have a meeting in the Twin Towers. That's what LaToya wrote in her book, Wind Sung, that he was supposed to. But I wonder if that's folklore. I wonder, I just kind of wonder, if that's just kind of like, let's just add that in because that sounds so great. And Michael just had the premonition that not to go because he overslept. Or it could be true. But I never found out who he was meeting in the Twin Towers. I never found out where the meeting was or who he was supposed to meet with or have any confirmation of that. It's just kind of secondhand. Yes, I am also very excited about Prisoner of Fame. I want to show you guys so bad. So I should have some news in November about Prisoner of Fame. And then, of course, tomorrow is Thrillerween. Happy Thrillerween, which is Halloween, but Thriller is taking over. Monster Mash had it for years, was the song that represented Halloween. Now we have Thriller that's going to represent Halloween. Pearl is right. Look the lyrics of Threaten, saying he is the living dead and the dark thoughts in your head. That's a whole clue. Exactly. And Michael was, saying you're not going to get the best of me. And also we have Michael album, Escape album, Michael Escape. It's all there right in our faces, but, certain people, mainstream media, just does not want to report on it. And then I was going to, I'm going to do a video tomorrow about the National Enquirer and talk about the media and Michael Jackson. Hopefully I'll do it tomorrow, but I just want to wish everybody happy Halloween. Hey, Pearl, do you think Elvis faked his death too? And I'm so excited for Prisoner of Fame. Thank you so much. Elvis could have faked his death. I am not a death hoaxologist. I am not someone who believes in death hoaxes. It's just so happened that I had been covering Michael Jackson, and then this death hoax happened. And anybody that knows me know that I did not come out for the death hoax or say that I believed in the death hoax until May 21st, 2010, which is when I released my pseudocide, Did Michael Jackson fake his death to save his life? And I had been taking notes, but it was just so outrageous, and just like Elvis, just like Tupac, ha ha ha, you're crazy, you're a fool, you're stupid, and I wanted to be reputable. So I would, study the death hoax, and I would keep notes, and I would keep quiet, but I would pay attention, and you'll never find me or any comment where I put down death hoax or like called him crazy or stupid. A few days after Michael was announced dead, I'm crying on camera and I'm saying that I don't believe that it's a death hoax because it would just had been 2 or 3 days, but right away people thought that it was a death hoax. Hey, Pearl, you look awesome with no makeup, girl. Come on. But thank you so much. As you get older, and you know what? It's a privilege to get older. It is a privilege because everybody doesn't live long enough to get older. And aging is just a normal process of life. It's just normal to get older. I'm kind of going over some of these comments to see if there's any questions here. Yeah, but with Winsong, with him saying, yeah, Michael was supposed to be in the Twin Towers that day. Yeah, that's what Latoya wrote. Come to think of it, This Is It is a song about a death planner, aka host. This Is It is about a death planner? I thought it was about falling in love, but hey, I'll look it up. Come on, Tupac is alive. Okay, maybe so, Tupac. But, I don't know about Tupac. He was shot up. So I don't know. You're not old, you look great. Oh, thank you. Pearl, I am also looking the hoax through his songs. I think Joe Jackson was behind the hoax. You think Papa Joe was behind the hoax? Really? You think Papa Joe was behind the hoax? No. Papa Joe is not behind the hoax when Michael faked his death. Papa Joe could have knew about it, which I think he did, and rest in peace. Oh gosh, I honored Joe Jackson so much because without Joe Jackson, we wouldn't have enjoyed 50 years of the Jacksons. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. For doing all that you did to make your children just the best that they can be. Pearl, I'm looking at the hoax. Okay. Pearl, and Joe probably knew and helped Michael plan it, maybe. But even though in Alive 2, I open up where Joe says, I just think Michael's still alive. And then he did another clue with me later on. And it's all in Alive 2. It's in Alive 2. It's really fun. Also, Pearl, do you believe that Michael Jackson is making a new album now? Many articles claim that, but who knows? Anything's possible. Anything's possible. As far as Karen Langford, she said, she's the kind of the person in charge of all Michael's stuff, like stuff in storage and Michael's things. She takes care of his stuff. They said there's no more full songs. But I know Taj, Michael's nephew, 3T, was on the stand, and he said that Michael gave him a box, and in the box was cassettes of music. So anything is possible. We might get some new music. That would be nice. Yes, those Jacksons are smart family. Yes, they had one goal. And when a whole family has the same goal of being successful entertainers, you just can't get that kind of aura, that kind of bouncing off of one another, that kind of single-mindedness, Also, somebody said, don't matter to me. That's right. That's a snippet. And I think that's a business model where Michael had like thousands of portions of songs, like a hook, like a chorus, maybe written down lyrics, maybe a drum beat or a melody, but they weren't whole songs. Let me see what somebody else wrote here. It says, see more. Let's see who this, Teresa. Hey, Teresa Graham. How are you? Let's see. She said, yes. I saw the comments. MJ recorded these lyrics and didn't finish it. It was from his 1980 section, what he did with Paul Anka. That is true. I used to know Jenny Anka, his niece. I used to hang around her all the time, back in the 80s, as a matter of fact. I didn't know that her uncle was hanging in the studio with Michael Jackson at that time, because I would have said, girl, you got to take me to the studio. Let's see. And then he died, and obviously he can't do anything with it now. He's brown bread. I don't know, brown bread. I don't know what that means. I know it's probably a saying, but you can explain it to me later, Teresa. Drake with it now. He's brown bread. Drake used it. Drake paid a lot of money for it, by the way, and came up with this duo, which I think is cool and soothing. Plus, I think it's nice he used his, cause we all love MJ and a lot, da da da. You know what? I don't know any Drake songs. I'm sorry. I just can't get into it. You know, I know Drake is famous and I see him all the time and all this other stuff. And then Lenny Kravitz used a snippet of Michael, a snippet of Michael Jackson's music and one of his songs as well. You know, so there are melodies, there are recordings, there are, you know, thousands of them. And it's just a business model to keep Michael relevant, to keep him current, to have other people still keep his legacy alive, which is what I do. And you believers do, and all you fans who continue to post pictures of Michael and just keep him relevant. There's so many girls that are just so still in love with him, and they think he's dead, so you think I'm crazy. No way. If I'm in love with Michael Jackson, at least I think he's alive, right? Is Paris getting married? Oh, I don't know if Paris is getting married. You know, after she promoted the Eagles, after it was announced that, oh God, that the Beatles beat Michael out with the #1 RIAA US best-selling album, and then she promotes the Beatles to her 3 million Instagram followers and the 2 million Twitter followers. I was like, girl, well, I don't know. Sometimes I try not to, you know, get too mixed up in things, because then I say stuff and that's true, and then people get mad at me because I'm not supposed to say the truth, you know. Too bad Michael, what was that? Too bad Michael something. Too bad Michael sold his half of the albums of, no, Michael didn't sell his half of the My Jack catalog. The My Jack catalog is with all Michael songs and some of the Jackson 5 songs, and I think there's some Gamble and Huff songs in there still. He owns the My Jack catalog. He sold the Beatles and Elvis and all this other stuff because there's a 56-year copyright law that after 56 years, music goes back into the public domain. And, you know, that 56 years was coming up. And if the 56 years came up, then, you know, and everybody can just use the Beatles or use whatever Elvis songs that they want to use free of charge. What would be the value of the catalog, you know, in a few years? So, and plus they had, you know, with the IRS case, they had estimated the catalog to be worth $2.5 million, Michael's half $1.25 million, and Michael sold it for $750 million, $1.25 billion. So Michael's, that would have been Michael's half. The IRS's, what they called him, a expert, you know, an appraiser. And so if they thought Michael's half was worth $1.25 billion and they sold it for $750 million, which is real money, Michael saves $500 million of taxes, which is at a rate of 40%. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's a multitude of reasons why he sold that catalog. But I just wanted to tell you guys, since I covered the IRS case, and there's no verdict on that the estate tax case either. Let's see. What we don't know, to me, MJ was a book lover, and anyone who spends a lot of times reading stuff through books, etc., is natural psychology. So in short, MJ played with our mind. He was looking for answers. Okay, he was looking for ways to accomplish the things that he wanted to do. So Um, let's see. Do you guys also remember that one clue in one of Janet's songs? Oh yeah. Yeah. I never could get it to. It was ambiguous to me. Can you believe Michael's alive? And it was on Janet's song. I know the name of the song. You guys know the name of the song, but I never reported on it because it was too ambiguous. It was kind of like he said it, but it was kind of like he didn't say it. But some fans think he did say it. She did say it, and I'm not sure. So I never really reported on it. Like, I don't believe these are some of the things, and I'm not going to be on here all night, okay? Because I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, And I swear, I do have my eyelashes on. Aren't they lovely? I love my eyelashes. I went and got them done today. Oh, and I got my nails back. I got my nails done. I did a dark brown, for Easter, brown, orange. I mean, not for Easter, for Halloween. I got my nails done. And the reason I got my nails done, and they weren't done for a while, is because every now and then you just got to give your feet a rest. You got to give your nails a rest off of all the, the polish and all that other stuff. So, but I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. See, I can make a song up just like that. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's Michael's song. That when you come back, baby, you can go, I'm back, I'm back. Okay, do you guys also remember that one clue? Yeah, one of Janet's songs, The Great Forever was the name of it. I don't believe Teddy Perkins, either Teddy Perkins, because there was two of them. There was the one in the show, Atlanta. And of course, the guy, used Michael's life to create the character, Joe Jackson, tough, success, music, industry, blah, blah. And that was played by Gambino, Childish Gambino, or Donald Glover. And then there was another guy at the Emmys. He was way tall, and Michael would have had to wear, 5-6 inch, pumps to be that tall. That guy was like 6'2", 6'3". 6'3", really tall. And Michael is anywhere from 5'9" to 5'11". I saw Michael in person. He's not 5'11". I would say 5'10", so that would be a happy medium. Saw Michael in person a lot, okay? Especially when he walked right past me at the 2005 trial, Plus, he came to see me in disguise as Miss Jane Pittman. Then he came to the courthouse as looking like one of the guys from The Simpsons, but a real guy, like if one of the Simpson characters was a real person, that And I think he came to the IRS case, and he's probably was at Papa Joe's memorial. I didn't look for him. I was still, just kind of grieving, I like Joe, hey, let's see. My girlfriend kind of see this whole Alive trailer from you. She's still in the mud about MJ dead. We both love him, but hers is so behind. Don't know what I can do to make this girl see. Have her sit down and watch my documentaries, okay? Let's see, there's more. There says see more. See that MJ hoaxes death. A lot of people don't want to believe it because it's embarrassing, and people don't want to be on an island all by themselves, and they don't want to go against the grain. They don't want to be called crazy, So and if Michael faked his death, it should be all over the news. Well, the news doesn't want to look like fools, So they're not going to report on it. And especially in the era of Trump, calling them fake news and media is the enemy of the state and the enemy of the people. I mean, it's just horrible what's going on in our country right now. And sometimes it feels like, should I say it? I had freedom of speech. I often would wonder, how did Hitler come in power? And I would wonder, how did it get that bad? What happened? Nobody could stop him until there was World War II, and the United States came in and had to, topple other countries, and then we had to, drop the bomb on Hiroshima instead of Germany, and to end the war. But how did Hitler get in power? What the heck? And then I think about Donald Trump, and I'd be like, well, hey, I'm just kind of saying this is how we're living. How, I mean, gosh, dang, gosh, oof. Mm. Okay, do you still think Dave? Yes, Dave could have easily been Michael Jackson on Larry King Live. Dave would do that for Michael. So I think so, because if you look at the shoulders, you got to watch. I think it's in Alive 3. You got to watch it, and it's like the shoulders are so wide, like there was a prosthetic hand, because Dave's hands were mangled, and Dave rest in peace too. Pearl, last question. So you could rest. Do you believe Michael only had two plastic surgeries? And he said on the 93 interview, and do you think he got more after 93? Michael got touch-ups. Okay, Michael had two nose surgeries, and the first one we know about, which was around the off-the-wall era, because he said he fell. And then black skin keloids. So what happened was he had all these growths of skin. Look up keloids. I think it's spelled Keloids. And so with all those cuts, he had a lot of scar tissue, and it was blocking his airways. So he had to get a second surgery, and they had to figure out how do we cut him and stop him from keloiding so that it doesn't block his airways. So yeah, he had two nose surgeries, and of course he admitted to having the chin. But I think the rest of the surgeries were touch-ups. They were like touch-up surgeries. So the people gave him the power. Yeah. Well, we got to find out about the Russians, I know I'm all over the place tonight because I'm worried. Oh, the election. Oh, I'm worried. I'm an activist at heart. And, gosh, I don't want, people going up behind people, shooting them in the head just for the color of their skin, or shooting up synagogues because they think the others are going to invade our country, and shooting up kids in schools. And, gosh, this stuff can make me cry. I mean, it's just so sad, and, we need a change. We need a change for the better, a change for positivity, a change for unity, a change for just peace and love, which was what Michael preached. I wonder if Michael would support him since they were friends. Michael stayed at Trump Tower. And Donald at that time liked hanging around black celebrities, Oh, Kanye West. Have you guys heard? He changed his tune now that, people he, getting the love, and it's probably hurting his pocketbook. Now he's like, people had me say things that I didn't believe in. I'm going to leave politics alone, and I'm just going to be a creative genius. I'm just going to be focused on creativity. Yeah, Kanye, you were making an FOOL of yourself, baby. You were just ridiculous. Come on. So anyway, I'm having a little bit of allergies. But anyway, so let's see. Dave Days, his eyes and mouth. Yeah, like MJ. But Michael's king of, keloids. There you go. Keloid. There you go, Teresa. Yep. And Michael had that. So that's why he had to have the second nose job. What have we all been talking about? Oh, lots of stuff. Of course, I'm going to save it. We need MJ as president. Well, we need him as an ambassador, but I think he needs to know a little bit more about politics, because we can't have any more people that with no experience in politics, because Trump is the only president in history that had never ran for any office in the world. And I remember Sean Hannity, the right-wing conservative from Fox News, who I just don't like, him putting Barack Obama down, saying, he was a community activist, he should not be president, he is unqualified. Barack has a Harvard law degree, Trump doesn't. Barack was a professor of constitutional law, okay, Trump wasn't. Barack was a community organizer, Trump isn't or wasn't. And Barack was a U.S. senator, and Trump wasn't, but Sean Hannity loves Trump. You see how, and it's all just based on race, gosh, race is a function of indigenous climatic habitats. Okay? It is not, you're not better because you're white, or worse because you're white, or better because you're black, and worse because you're black, and brown, and all this stuff. It's based on an indigenous climatic habitat. It has nothing to do with who's better or who's worse. It's about race is a function of the human, Australopithecus. I wrote a book called The Climate, A Perspective Unvisited. And I wanted to know about race and race relations and all this stuff. So every question I answered had me ask another question. So I ended up going back 6 million years to the Australopithecus, which are the first humans. And how the first humans were in Africa, and that's not saying black people are better or worse, but it's just the only climate that was really warm enough, to kind of house living species. And the reason why black people still have dark skin is because of the melanin that protects you from the sun, and the average temperature on the continent of Africa is 80 degrees. Okay, and we have short curly hair to protect our scalp from the burning sun, and white people have longer hair to keep them warm, and they don't need the melanin because they came from a climate that had less sun. And the Asians, the reason why they have the slanted eyes is called the epicanthic fold, to protect their eyes from the rain and the winds and the monsoons. It's just a base. Race is a function of climatic habitats. Gee whiz. And we put so much into race. Gosh, me as a black woman, I should not be less likely to be loved because I have dark skin and curly hair. We just got to get beyond this, gosh. Okay, none of this Jackson family looks sad at the memorial. They look like they were watching a Chris Tucker comedy show. Well, I wouldn't go quite that far, Emmanuel. Paris, even though she did a great performance as a little girl, am I the best daddy in the whole wide world? But no tears fell, And then she told Ellen DeGeneres that she's able to cry on cue. Okay. Let's see. When we all get to heaven, I'm sure God won't separate us. That's right. Hopefully he comes back soon. I honestly think he's coming back next year on June 25th, which is the 10th anniversary, even though we all know he's alive and well. Yes, we do. MJ will be in heaven 100%. Oh, God is the judge. And, just for fun, getting into heaven, you got to go through the pearly gates. Which is my name is from the pearly gates of heaven, And there's so many other songs that Michael did, A Place with No Name, and Pearly Gates. It's all in the name, it's all in the game. Okay, I'm going to stop. You guys got to watch the Alive Trilogy of Michael Jackson docs. We not should be separated now. We should all love one another. Just the same. Absolutely, Teresa. I think I saw Micheline here. Hi, Micheline. And then Teresa Graham. I love you, Teresa, but I meant Teresa Bruner. I sent her a care package that Leisha's going to drive to her because she was caught up in the Michael storm. So I already mailed off a little care package, a little love package for her, a box of goodies that I hope make her smile. And because everything was destroyed in the storm. Teresa and Fifi or Leisha McPherson is going to drive the package because I had to mail it to her in order for her to drive it because the post office there got messed up where Teresa is in Florida. Yes, everyone is equal, races, genders, yes. So anyway, guys, I am about to go off. I think I've been rambling on here way too long. And happy 30th anniversary. Happy 17th anniversary to the Invincible album, which is when Michael really thought he was going to fake his death. And my phone's going to start blinking soon because I'm getting hot. And also, happy Halloween. Did you guys see Ruby dancing? Oh, she was so cute, my grandbaby. But happy Halloween to everyone tomorrow, or Thrillerween tomorrow. And okay, And I love all you guys. And bye from Australia. And you guys, if you haven't watched the Alive Trilogy of Michael Jackson docs, please do. And when you guys see me promoting and marketing, because if you can just share it, with your people, when you see that, oh, Pearl's posting, just press share for me or repost or something like that, just to help me market and promote. You guys know everything I get, I give right back. Because I want to do another mic. I want to do a live 4. I want to do a live 4. Okay. Bye, Pearl. Take care. Good night, everyone. Good night. I love you guys. And I'm going to turn the camera around. And you guys, don't forget to order your Alive Trilogy of Michael Jackson docs. Or if you haven't seen it, watch it tonight. Hey, watch it tonight on Vimeo.com. And I love you guys. And I wish everyone the best, and I appreciate you guys so, so, so much. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Jules. Hi, Teresa. Hi, everybody. Don, I see you, and Bruner, and Tina Dunn, my Death Hoax buddy. How are you guys doing? Okay, I love you guys, and if I didn't say your name, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I love you guys, Abraham and Jules, and I do. I love you guys, and I appreciate each and every one of you every single solitary day. I do. So don't forget to get your Alive Trilogy, and when you see me post, please share and post and post for me, okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.